guys, as one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive.
Leading them out, a third-round pick in 2018. He's made a handful of starts across his 5 previous seasons. Mason Rudolph.
And when Mason Rudolph is on the field, sometimes the scouting reports have to be revised a little bit because often quarterbacks like to throw short to get a rhythm. For Mason Rudolph, he loves the deep fade, and he loves the deep post pattern. Anything over the top, those are his favorite shots downfield, and that's what gets him comfortable.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now it's Rudolph. He gets it complete to Harris. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense.
Leading them out, coming off a surprising Pro Bowl season, 4th-year pro out of Utah, Tyler Snoop Huntley.
A 3-year starter at the University of Utah. He got his NFL opportunity as Lamar Jackson's backup in Baltimore, mainly because he possessed similar qualities. Excellent runner, big-time arm, just has to grow in accuracy and avoiding mistakes.
Huntley off of play action. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Huntley.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
To throw, Huntley.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Harris running straight ahead.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
Here's 3rd and a few inches. Rudolph. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Here's Rudolph off play action. And now another one thrown incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead.
So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
Returning it, Justice Hill. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he's going to have a Ravens 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Well, That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down and a yard.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you gotta like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
They go play action with Huntley.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Huntley looks to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Third down. Here's Huntley now.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Montravius Adams in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
All right, partner, count with me. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Look, he had all day to throw the football and never got rid of it and allowed for the sack. That's not on the offensive line.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will tie us at 3-3.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start the drive with Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now here's another carry for Harris. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
Oh, some strong running. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. He's got this to Pickens. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
Rudolph's throw complete to Freiermuth.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 3.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They hand this off to Harris. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Rudolph. And he is caught. Touchdown. Deontay Johnson from 13 yards out. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And in the end, it was Deontay Johnson's touchdown catch to cap the drive.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Returning it, Hill. The dangerous Hill now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Huntley to throw. A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Here's Huntley. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Austin. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Rudolph.
Got his man, it's Warren.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Rudolph. And this is going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's Presley Harvin now.
This is brought in at the 21. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. On 1st and 10, Huntley.
That is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now Huntley. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
Out now is the punter, Jordan Stout.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph.
Quick completion here to Johnson.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Now 2nd and 5.
Rudolph looking to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And 3rd and 1 now.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep.
Wiley? Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again with Harris.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On second down, it's Edwards. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime, Minks, had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 52 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
On second down, this is Harris.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench, because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 17-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The return man is Hill. Returning it, Hill.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Throwing on 1st and 10, Huntley. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. That just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
inside by Robinson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Rudolph now to throw.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Again, it's Harris.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris
with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Huntley off of play action. That's going deep for Bateman.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Off the option, here's Edwards.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
T.J. Watt, the all-pro, in there to take him down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there It's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Rudolph's throw pulled in by Robinson here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 2 at the 37-yard line.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. A handoff for Warren. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On the ground, it's Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Rudolph looking to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith, as he gets the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Looking to throw here, Huntley.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They're going for it. Huntley.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
Rudolph.
A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball.
And in for the Steelers, touchdown.
Deontay Johnson.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Guys ready to get it on right now?
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3rd and 9 here. Here's Huntley.
And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 5. Huntley looks to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
To throw, Huntley.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again.
75 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Here's Rudolph.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
They didn't need much. They didn't get much. But what they did get was enough for a 1st down.
Now a give. Running left is Harris. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the 2nd half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear